Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Global Times USA. Please subscribe and like my videos. Today we bring you an in-depth review and explanation of one of the most shocking developments in the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, the Ukrainian drone strike that hit Moscow's $1.2 billion city towers, leaving Russia stunned and the world closely watching the consequences. To help you understand the impact of this incident, we will review this event as if it were a product on display, analyzing its exterior, interior, performance, safety features, unique selling points, the cost it has inflicted, and finally a conclusion that ties together the significance of what happened. When we look at the exterior of the story, the visual aspect is impossible to ignore. The Moscow International Business Center, also known as Moscow City, is an iconic skyline of glass skyscrapers symbolizing Russia's financial ambition and modern pride. Among them, the city towers are considered jewels of Moscow's architectural crown. Built with shining glass facades, steel reinforcements, and futuristic outlines, these towers were designed to reflect strength, economic stability, and progress. But in a matter of minutes, the exterior transformed from a glowing corporate hub into a damaged site hit by Ukrainian drones. Flames, shattered glass, and smoke replaced the luxury glow, showing the vulnerability of even the most modern structures in times of conflict. The exterior tells us that despite all the polish and billions invested, no building in Moscow is immune to modern warfare. The contrast between luxury design and sudden destruction is one of the most powerful visual messages of this event. Now, when we step inside to examine the interior of the incident, things become even more intense. The interior here is not just about architecture, but the inside layers of meaning. For Moscow's elites, the city towers were not merely offices and apartments, but safe havens, places where wealth, deals, and prestige flourished. These interiors were decorated with luxurious fittings, marble floors, high-speed elevators, panoramic views of the city, and secure office spaces housing top corporations. Yet in this strike, the sense of safety was shattered. Imagine the panic of employees and residents inside, alarms going off, lights flickering, the sound of impact echoing through high-rise walls, and the rush to evacuate. The interior, which once symbolized comfort and modern living, instantly turned into a place of fear and emergency. It revealed the truth that even the heart of Moscow, the place of financial and political security, can be penetrated. This deeper interior meaning is about Russia's psychological shock, its people realizing that the war, which was supposed to remain distant, has entered their daily lives. This interior story is far bigger than just broken furniture and cracked glass. It is about the collapse of an illusion of safety and untouchability. The interior perspective is the soul of this incident, showing how deeply it pierced Russian society. From a performance perspective, the Ukrainian drones proved themselves highly effective. Performance in warfare is measured by precision, speed, and psychological effect. These drones managed to bypass one of the world's most heavily guarded cities, equipped with advanced air defense systems like Pantsir S-1 and S-400 batteries. Yet the fact that drones reached the city towers and caused visible damage shows a performance breakthrough for Ukraine. The drones were relatively low-cost compared to the billions invested in Russian defense, yet their strike was successful. This performance factor demonstrates not only the efficiency of modern drone warfare, but also the ability of Ukraine to use technology creatively against a larger power. The performance of these drones was not only in physical damage, but also in media impact. Footage of burning towers and emergency crews rushing in Moscow spread worldwide within minutes. This performance dimension amplified Ukraine's message that Russia's capital is not untouchable and that war can strike at the heart of its pride. Safety features of Moscow's infrastructure and defense were put to the test. The towers were built with advanced fire safety systems, evacuation protocols, and reinforced materials. In the immediate aftermath, emergency teams responded quickly, evacuating residents and attempting to control damage. However, the strike also exposed the limits of safety. Russian air defenses were unable to fully prevent the drones from reaching their target. Even with all the modern safety systems inside the buildings, people still faced panic, uncertainty, and disruption. The incident shows us that safety is relative. While human lives may have been saved through evacuation, the psychological safety of the Russian population has been severely compromised. The feeling of being safe in Moscow has been shaken, perhaps permanently. The drone strike turned the city towers into a symbol of failed safety assurances. Unique selling points of this incident are what make it stand out globally. For Ukraine, the unique aspect is demonstrating reach. While previous strikes targeted border regions or military facilities, this time Ukraine struck at the symbolic core of Moscow's wealth and power. The unique selling point for the world media is the contrast: $1 billion skyscraper hit by relatively cheap drones. It raises questions about the future of warfare, where expensive infrastructures are vulnerable to small, agile, and cost-effective weapons. Another unique feature is the political message. By hitting the city towers, Ukraine showed that Russia's war is no longer confined to Ukrainian soil, but now also threatens the very symbols of Russian pride. This creates fear, uncertainty, and global headlines, which is exactly the point of modern hybrid warfare. When we consider the price of this incident, it goes beyond the $1.2 billion physical valuation of the towers. The economic damage includes repair costs, loss of business activity, and decline in investor confidence. But the larger price is political and psychological. For Russia, the strike undermines its image of control, strength, and security. It signals to both domestic citizens and international observers that the Kremlin cannot fully protect its capital. For Ukraine, the price is both the cost of developing and deploying drones and the risk of retaliation from Russia. Yet, in comparison to Russia's losses, Ukraine's investment appears minimal. The imbalance in price effectiveness is striking. Cheap drones creating billion-dollar panic. This redefines the meaning of price in modern warfare, not only in money but in credibility, reputation, and trust. In conclusion, this drone strike on Moscow's $1.2 billion city towers is more than just an isolated attack. It is a symbolic moment in the war, representing the clash between high-cost power and low-cost innovation. The exterior shows us vulnerability. The interior shows us fear. The performance highlights Ukrainian ingenuity. The safety features reveal limits. The unique selling points showcase the new era of warfare. And the price underscores the imbalance between investment and damage. For Russia, it is a wake-up call that even the heart of Moscow can be reached. For Ukraine, it is a demonstration of resilience and strategy. For the world, it is a reminder that modern conflicts are not just fought on battlefields but also in skylines, economies, and psychological spaces. The city towers strike has shaken Moscow and captured global attention. Whether this will lead to escalation or negotiation remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: the war has reached new heights, both literally and symbolically. Stay tuned to Global Times USA for more updates. And don't forget to subscribe and like our videos as we continue to bring you the latest in global affairs.